Hello, my sweet Libras, and welcome to your Celtic spirit reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't had a chance to check out any of your other readings on my channel, please feel free to do so. If you do enjoy this, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all that other great stuff. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it's certainly free for you. So we will go ahead and do a 5 pentagram shape reading on this to kind of get some hopefully answers for you if you're having any questions, concerns, that kind of thing, as the lovely lead up to our St. Patty's Day with the Celtic reading here. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. If you do, let me know in the comments if you enjoy these kinds of readings. So let's go ahead and get started. The first position is kind of what you might be facing or what situation you're in. The second position is what would make you the happiest going forward. The third position is your biggest obstacle in getting there. The fourth position is Spirit's advice to you. And the fifth position is your optimal outcome. So let's kind of see what we're looking at here for you. And don't worry if you can't see the cards, we'll go through them one at a time. So we have Sacred Water, Deep Healing, Emotions, and Pilgrimage. So I do feel like a lot of you are going through something pretty spiritually, emotionally draining, deep, that kind of thing. Could be a major breakup for some of you. That's just kind of what I'm feeling for a lot of you, is that you're going through something where there is a detachment situation. So you could have lost someone. It could be a breakup. It could be that you are kind of withdrawing from something, or maybe you just need a change. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you are trying to kind of move forward, heal, right? You're looking for a way to kind of get over something, whatever it may be. So whether this was a breakup, whether this was a loss of a loved one, it could even be a pet, whether you lost a job that meant a lot to you, or something that's just really kind of weighing on you, right? I feel like the big thing here is that you're seeking a way to kind of get through this, right? Heal through it. What's the best option? What can you do to kind of, move forward, right? Without kind of, I guess for a lot of you, I'm seeing that the problem that you're having is you're clinging, okay? I'm just feeling that a lot of you are clinging. So you're not releasing, and that's making it hard for you to receive, okay? So for a lot of you, the issue here is, in order to receive what your next relationship, your next job, your next whatever it may be, okay? Your next big thing, whatever it is that Spirit, the universe, has ready for you. If you've had that tower moment, let's say, recently, and maybe for some of you, not even recently, it could be that you're just still really kind of mending from something. I feel like you have a tendency to really have a hard time getting past it, or you're not allowing yourself to get past it, okay? So maybe if it's a breakup, you're still talking to the person, right? Or you're still kind of watching them on social media, right? Or you're still friends with their friends and you're asking about them, or listening in if you hear people kind of mentioning them, instead of like completely trying to block them out 100%, trying to stay focused on you moving forward, or kind of what can I do to start my healing path moving forward? I need to work on me. I need to focus on me. And again, a lot of times people are like, I need to work on me. I've been alone for X, Y, and Z amount of time. I've worked on me plenty. I want to move forward, right? I get that. I hear you. I fully hear you if that's the position you're in. Maybe this has been a long time since you've had this loss, this breakup, this situation, whatever it may be, and you're ready to move forward, but you're not putting in the work, right? So you're ready to move forward, but you're kind of expecting that, this new relationship or this new opportunity or whatever it is going to fall out of the sky on your couch, right? And that's just not going to happen, because you're like, as much as you want it, you're not putting yourself out there enough to get it, right? You're like, well, I went on a dating site for a day, or, I go out with my friends here and there, but you're not actively really getting out there. You're not actively really doing all the things that you need to do to really kind of push yourself as much as maybe you could. And because of that, the longer that you are sitting there feeling stagnant, feeling like you're not moving forward, feeling like you're alone or you're not happy, or maybe you're in a relationship, a new relationship, but it's not fulfilling and you're constantly comparing it to the one you lost, right? Or the one that you recently had, or whatever it may be. You just keep going back to that, right? You're going back to that. And for some reason, I just keep feeling like that's what your issue is here. So that's where you're kind of feeling like you need something to really jolt you into something new. Like you almost need something to like say, hey, enough. Like something major has to happen. Like more than, like this has to be like an absolute end all be all, right? So what is it that's going to make you happy? Okay. And we have celestial here. So cosmos, creation, and spiral. And the big thing here is the creation key component of the celestial, right? So this is all about creating your path forward. And you know that. And in your mind, you may have been creating your path forward. And you may have even gone as much as to create a path forward. So whatever you've lost, you may be trying to get over it by doing some things, right? To distract yourself. Maybe you have gone on a couple dates. Maybe you have gotten a new significant other that's not so significant because you're still focused on the last person and you still find yourself comparing them to the last person, right? Or if you've lost a loved one, maybe you are trying to find things to occupy your mind, but you're doing it maybe because of that person, right? Like, oh, I'm painting because the person I lost, we love to paint together. That's not really helping you get through it, because although you're doing something to occupy your mind, it's something that's constantly bringing you back to that person, right? And you need something that's going to lead you on a totally new path, totally new direction, totally new creative, outlet, right? Because for some reason, I just keep getting this feeling, this vibe for you, collective, that you are constantly being drawn back in. And that's why the healing part is really taking longer than it should. Even if you're doing the motions of moving forward, even if you're doing, hey, I've moved forward, I've got a new whatever, or I'm living my life or whatever, but you're not healed. You're not fulfilled. You're still, some part of you is still, back here. You're still living back here, right? And you really have to get past that. You really have to move past that, because until you can completely, almost be able to look that person or, know that you are okay with that. And of course, if it's a loss of someone that you love, a life loss, someone's passed away, you're never going to be okay with it, but you need to be able to kind of get to where you can go day to day without, feeling like everything about that day is bringing you back to that, right? That's the best we can hope for as humans, right? So I feel like a lot of what you're doing is you're going through the motions, but you're not getting there, okay? So what's your biggest obstacle? We've got beginnings, willingness, and opportunities. And again, I think that's exactly what the problem is, to be honest with you, is you're having trouble with the new beginnings. You're having trouble opening yourself up to opportunities. So again, for a lot of you, you aren't even putting yourself out there enough. For a lot of you, you really are maybe going through the motions, but your whole soul's not in it, right? Like, so you're like, okay, this person's interested in me. If you had a breakup, if you're in that part of the collective, and you're saying this person's interested in me, they're all right. They're not a bad person. They're okay. I mean, is it the love of your life? No. You don't even think so. You don't even see yourself as being with this person forever. So, if you really sat down and thought about it, you'd say, at this age, should I just be dating to be dating? Maybe not, but they fill the time, they fill the void. That's kind of where you are. And you're considering that like, oh, I'm moving forward. That was moving forward. But the person that maybe you lost, you did see yourself with for a lifetime. So you're not going to be able to replace them with somebody who feels temporary, right? You're going to need somebody that is even better, right? Somebody who's even more, that you feel even more drawn to, that you love even more, that you're even more interested in that future with, right? To encompass you, to, absorb all of your sensory emotions and feelings and love, because otherwise you're going to keep comparing them to that, and they're going to fall short every single time. Every single time they're going to fall short, right? So again, then you're just going through the motions. You're not really taking anything that's a good opportunity, right? You're replacing a king in your mind anyway. I mean, this person may have been terrible for you, but in your mind-ish, a king with a page, right? And so it's not something that is of equal opportunity, or you wouldn't keep thinking about this person, right? So you can't, you need to be looking for an emperor, right? So same thing. If it's something with, someone you've lost, an opportunity you've lost, an energy exchange of any type or value, where you are feeling heartsick, sad, somebody who's moved away from you, a best friend, whatever it may be, right? I do feel like you are not taking the opportunities that you can. You're not starting the new path, the new creation that's going to make you happy. You're not taking advantage of doing that. That's your big flaw here. That's the obstacle, is that you're just not doing that, right? You are biding time, but you don't even know what you're biding time for. Like, are you biding time that your friend's going to move back? Are you biding time that time will just magically heal a loss? Are you biding time that this person might come back to you? The universe brings towers down a lot of times for reasons, so that you can release to receive, open yourself up to something better, bigger, newer, more important. Now, of course, that's not the case if you have a death in the family, a loss, something like that. That's going to take healing. And the best thing you can do is kind of, do what you need to do. Get a path. Be willing, the willingness here, willing to maybe get the counseling you need, grief counseling, right? Maybe get involved in some groups, people who understand what you're going through, those kinds of things, right? That's something a little bit different, but there's still steps that can help you, to kind of get on a new path that is going to make you feel a little bit better about it, able to cope with it a little bit more. But for many of you who I am, referring to, where you feel like, lost my best friend, moved away, lost something that was very important to me, a job, a position, I lost my house, something like that, a breakup, a major breakup, something like that, you have to force yourself to open yourself up to opportunities, new beginnings, and get out there, put yourself in there. And it has to be something that is actually important to you. If you're just doing something to buy time, that is not something that is that's not ever going to fill the void, right? You cannot fill the void with more emptiness, right? So what is Spirit's advice to you, okay? Spirit's advice is the green fairy. Mischief, freedom, and recklessness, okay? And I do think that with Spirit saying this, I think this is kind of a tongue-in-cheek. It comes as a pinch of wisdom with also a bit of warning, to be honest with you. I do feel like Spirit is telling you that for some of you, it may feel very much out of comfort. It may make you feel reckless, right? To put yourself out there on a dating site, go out and meet and greet, go to a speed dating event, do these certain things, right? That may feel crazy to you, okay? But that may be something that you need to do. Embrace that type of newness. Be open, be willing, because remember, your blocking here is that you're not willing. You're not being willing. You're not being open-minded enough. You're not being open to new beginnings, right? Beginnings, opportunities, and willingness is what's blocking you from getting your happiness, right? So you've got to open up, right? So freedom here. You need to embrace the fact that you are now free to try new things that maybe you couldn't before, right? Try new adventures, travel that maybe you never got to do before. And maybe that'll lead to just something totally different. Try new things to meet people, right? Try new classes if you want to, like take a cooking class, take a painting class, things that you're interested in, candle making class, I don't care, sushi making, whatever you like, okay? And that may feel reckless to you, right? But Spirit's saying, hey, get out of your comfort zone, try something new. Sometimes the universe forces you out of your comfort zone in these situations so that you can find new paths, new creations, new beginnings, new things that you will enjoy even more, right? Replacing the old with the new, right? Releasing certain things for receiving better things, right? And in the interim, you know, you're having fun. Your mind's taken off the things that you have been kind of really hyper-focused on and shouldn't be, right? But I do think Spirit is also saying, you know, with this, always remember that you don't want to go too crazy, okay? Because the green fairy can also be a little bit reckless. So thinking you're reckless is one thing, but if you are already a person who, you know, okay, if I push it, I'll push it too far. If you know that, be careful, okay? Because you don't want to put yourself in a compromising position. So I do think Spirit is just saying, make sure that when you are putting yourself out there, you are doing so safely, right? Of course, we don't want anybody going out and putting themselves in a dating situation that's unsafe. We don't want you traveling if it's unsafe to an unsafe place. We don't, you know, obviously that's something that Spirit's saying, hey, listen, we want you to be open. We want you to try new things, new opportunities. But, you know, we want you to do that in a way that's healthy and exciting so that you can have happiness with your new creation, your new path that you're creating, you know, not one that you are going to get so crazy, wild, and reckless that you end up, you know, unable to enjoy your future path. So it's kind of like, keep that in mind, right? And as long as you listen to Spirit and you do enjoy yourself, you know, to an extent, trying new things, opening yourself up, keeping an open mind about things, kind of keeping your mind busy with certain things, I think your outcome here is Gwyneth, the mother, nurture, and present. And I do think with this is going to be a lot about kind of embracing your feminine energy, okay? I do think that a lot of this is, with being a mother, you're very in charge, okay? That motherly feeling. Now, is that to say that, you know, part of your loss may have been, again, for some of you, you may have lost a child. It could be you know, you had a miscarriage, you had a loss of a child. That could be part of your grief, okay? And maybe this is where, very literally, you will be able to have another child, right? You know, be able to conceive again, okay? If that's the case for some of you. But for some of you, you know, maybe part of your situation with your ex was, maybe part of what you split over was the desire to have a child. Maybe they didn't want one, that kind of thing. So maybe this is what you're looking for, and you find somebody new who has that same kind of outlook. That's what they want. They want a family, okay? Maybe this is a situation where you're thinking, okay, I really enjoyed being with that person and I really miss their kids. Maybe they weren't even your kids. Maybe they were stepkids, you know, and you really miss those kids and this and that. Maybe you meet somebody new who has children, right? Maybe that's the case here. And now you've got new people to care for, new family, new opportunities, new people to spend time with that you can show your love to, right? You're not alone anymore. Those things that you enjoy that you thought you may never have again, right? Part of what you were upset about. You know, if you had a loss in your family, maybe it was a loss of a grandmother, a loss of a mother, and maybe what is replacing it is that you become a mother to someone, you know, a stepmother, you know, a pseudo mother, like somebody you adopt. Maybe you have your own child, you know, maybe you become a mother, you know, in part to somebody you're dating. They have children and you get to be around them a lot, that kind of thing. Like maybe not stepmom if you're not married perhaps, but that type of situation. And so that's kind of filling that void for you, right? Because it's kind of like passing the torch. You're like, okay, now I get to implement everything that my mother, bless, you know, that I've lost, or my grandmother that I've lost, they taught me. So I get to honor them by passing on that, right? So that's kind of like the cycle of the universe. You get that, right? But and it's about being present, right? But the main thing here is that you're going to be able to be present. All of that, all of the mother situation aside, right? So again, this is gender neutral. So if it's fatherly, same situation. But again, for all intents and purposes, this is about finding that divine purpose of being kind of someone who is a caregiver to someone else, someone who is able to love someone else, someone who is able to be stable and give their love to someone else. So for whatever you were having trouble up here, taking care of yourself, even because you were so distressed, so emotional, so beat down, because of a loss, right? You're ending where you're able to not only care for yourself, you're able to have people that you can care for, right? That is what a change, right? That is a huge growth, right? You've gone from somebody who can, hardly, a lot of times for many of you, maybe you can hardly feel like I want to get out of bed in the morning because maybe you're depressed. Your mind keeps going back to that person, that thing, that whatever, at certain points. Maybe that's where you are. And now you are able to actually give hope and caring and love and, nurturing and everything to somebody else, right? Whether it be a significant other, a friend, a family member, whomever it may be, because you are back in a place where you have found your place, right? You found your path, you found your creation, you found your spot, your people, your tribe, your everything, right? So again, this is a huge turnaround for you. So this is you're on a very positive trajectory, but you absolutely have to make sure that you are putting yourself out there, perhaps out of your comfort zone, sometimes in some cases, to put yourself out there, but also, and more importantly, is that you're putting yourself out there for something that matters to you, that you're not trying to replace something that you've lost with something that could never really replace it, because that's just a Band-Aid, right? That's just a Band-Aid that's a Band-Aid that's too small to even cover the wound, okay? That's not going to help anybody, right? So hopefully this resonated with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, and share. Otherwise, I hope to see you back really, really soon. And I will be doing general readings, I think, very soon. Bye.